Today we're diving deep into the design and structure of the most versatile and multifunctional light ships in the galaxy during the Galactic Civil War, Nebulon-B Frigate. Fasten your seatbelts and subscribe for more Star Wars insights. Nordy here, and it's time to get started. The Nebulon-B Frigate, a cornerstone of both the Galactic Empire and Rebel Alliance fleets, was designed as a highly adaptable and versatile warship. Its armament reflected its multifaceted role in combat, capable of engaging capital ships, repelling starfighters, and fulfilling support duties across various tactical scenarios. The Nebulon-B was a prime example of starship engineering that balanced offensive firepower, defensive measures, and operational flexibility, making it indispensable in a galaxy embroiled in conflict. At the heart of the Nebulon-B's offensive capabilities were its 12 medium-time and Mach 11-7 turbo laser turrets, a proven and reliable weapon system. These turrets were distributed strategically across the frigate's hull to ensure maximum coverage and efficiency in battle. The forward section of the ship hosted 6 of these turbo lasers, allowing it to unleash a concentrated barrage on targets directly ahead. This configuration was particularly advantageous during initial engagements or when pursuing retreating vessels. Meanwhile, 3 turbo lasers were positioned on each side of the ship, port and starboard, enabling the frigate to deliver effective broadside attacks or defend itself from flanking maneuvers. The XIO-7 turbo lasers were renowned for their precision and shield-piercing capabilities, making them ideal for targeting vital systems on enemy ships, such as shield generators or command modules. This made the Nebulon-B an asset in fleet battles where disabling key enemy ships could shift the tide of combat. To complement its turbo lasers and address the growing threat posed by starfighters and smaller craft, the Nebulon-B was equipped with 12 Borstal RH-8 light laser cannon turrets. These point defense weapons were vital for safeguarding the frigate against fast-moving and evasive targets, such as enemy bombers or starfighters. The placement of these laser cannons was carefully considered to ensure comprehensive coverage. 6 were mounted forward, providing a protective screen during head-on assaults. 2 cannons were located on each side, port and starboard, offering lateral defense against flanking fighter swarms, while the remaining 2 were positioned aft to guard the ship's vulnerable rear. The RH-8 laser cannons were lauded for their rapid tracking systems and high rate of fire, allowing them to engage multiple fast-moving targets simultaneously. This defensive capability ensured the Nebulon-B could operate effectively even in hostile environments teeming with enemy starfighters. The Nebulon-B was further enhanced with 2 Phylon Q7 heavy tractor beam projectors, a feature that significantly expanded its tactical versatility. These powerful systems enabled the frigate to seize and immobilize smaller vessels, such as starfighters, freighters, or even corvettes, making it an effective tool for blockade operations or boarding actions. The tractor beams also allowed the Nebulon-B to exert control over the battlefield by manipulating the movement of enemy ships, creating opportunities for Allied forces to strike. Beyond combat, these projectors played a crucial role in search and rescue missions, docking maneuvers, and the recovery of escape pods or debris. Their inclusion underscored the frigate's adaptability, as it could seamlessly transition between offensive, defensive, and support roles. While not standard across all variants, some Nebulon-B frigates were outfitted with a warhead launcher, adding a further layer of offensive capability. This launcher was designed to deploy advanced munitions, such as concussion missiles and torpedoes, allowing the frigate to engage heavily armored targets. Advanced concussion missiles were particularly effective against both capital ships and starfighters, delivering high-yield explosive power capable of breaching shields and causing severe structural damage. Torpedoes, on the other hand, were specialized for taking down larger vessels, providing the Nebulon-B with the firepower needed to challenge ships far exceeding its own size. The inclusion of a warhead launcher transformed the frigate into a more formidable combatant, particularly in scenarios requiring precision strikes or overwhelming firepower. The Nebulon-B's armament was not merely a collection of weapons but a carefully integrated system designed to maximize its effectiveness in a wide range of roles. Its medium turbo lasers allowed it to engage capital ships and provide heavy fire support, while its light laser cannons ensured survivability against swarms of starfighters. The tractor beam projectors and optional warhead launcher further diversified its capabilities, enabling it to adapt to the ever-changing demands of warfare. This balanced and versatile armament made the Nebulon-B Frigate an invaluable asset in any fleet, capable of excelling in both offensive and defensive operations. Whether serving as a frontline combatant, an escort for larger vessels, or a command ship for smaller task forces, the Nebulon-B epitomized the ingenuity and adaptability of starship design during a time of galactic turmoil. Its combination of firepower, defensive measures, and utility solidified its reputation as one of the most reliable and effective ships of its era. The Nebulon-B Frigate was powered by a propulsion system centered around 7-quat Galaxy 15 ion engines, a robust and efficient design that enabled the vessel to perform effectively across a variety of mission profiles. These engines were strategically mounted on the aft section of the frigate, housed within a dedicated propulsion module that was connected to the forward blade-like superstructure by a long, slender, cylindrical hull segment. This distinctive configuration gave the Nebulon-B its recognizable silhouette and played a crucial role in its operational functionality. The quat Galaxy 15 ion engines were designed with durability and adaptability in mind. They provided the Nebulon-B with a maximum acceleration of 1,200 g, allowing it to respond quickly to changing tactical situations despite its role as a medium frigate. This level of acceleration was particularly valuable in fleet engagements, enabling the frigate to reposition itself effectively, whether to protect more vulnerable ships or to move into an advantageous firing position. The propulsion system also allowed the vessel to achieve a speed of 40 mglt megalights in standard sublight operations, a respectable performance metric for a ship of its class. In atmospheric conditions, the Nebulon-B displayed a surprising degree of agility for a vessel of its size and mass. The aerodynamic properties of its forward blade-like superstructure, combined with the powerful thrust generated by its ion engines, allowed the frigate to maintain stability and maneuverability during planetary operations. While not designed for prolonged atmospheric flight, the ship could perform landfall operations, including troop deployment and ground support missions, with efficiency and reliability. The layout of the propulsion module reflected the ship's dual focus on functionality and survivability. The engines were clustered at the aft end in a symmetrical arrangement, reducing the vessel's overall profile and presenting a smaller target to enemy fire. This arrangement also facilitated efficient energy distribution from the main reactor to the engines, ensuring consistent performance even under combat conditions. The integration of advanced cooling and energy management systems allowed the Galaxy 15 ion engines to operate at peak efficiency without risk of overheating, a critical feature for sustained operations in high-stress scenarios. The slender cylindrical hull connecting the propulsion module to the main body of the frigate was both a structural and an engineering marvel. Despite its relatively narrow profile, the section was reinforced with advanced materials to withstand the immense stresses generated during acceleration and combat maneuvers. Within this connecting hull, essential systems such as power conduits, coolant lines, and control interfaces linked the engines to the ship's main reactor and command systems. This design ensured seamless communication and energy flow between the ship's propulsion and operational centers, maximizing overall performance. The engines were not only powerful but also versatile. The quat Galaxy 15 ion engines were engineered to support multiple mission types, from high-speed pursuits and evasive maneuvers to precise positioning during fleet engagements or orbital bombardments. Their modular design allowed for easy maintenance and repair, a crucial feature for vessels operating far from resupply points. The adaptability of these engines made the Nebulon-B an ideal choice for extended deployments, where reliability and ease of maintenance were paramount. From a logistical standpoint, the choice of quat Galaxy 15 ion engines reflected the Empire's and later the Rebel Alliance's emphasis on standardized, proven technology. These engines were widely produced and well documented, ensuring that spare parts and technical expertise were readily available across the galaxy. This standardization reduced downtime during repairs and facilitated the rapid deployment of replacement units when needed. The propulsion system of the Nebulon-B Frigate was a testament to the ship's overall design philosophy, to provide a balance of power, efficiency, and reliability. Its 7 ion engines, combined with the structural ingenuity of the propulsion module, enabled the frigate to fulfill its diverse roles with distinction, whether as a frontline combatant, an escort vessel, or a command ship for smaller fleets. This carefully engineered propulsion system ensured that the Nebulon-B could meet the demands of a galaxy at war, solidifying its place as one of the most versatile and enduring starship designs of its time. The Nebulon-B Frigate was equipped with a Class 2.0 Hyperdrive, a highly reliable and moderately fast system that provided the vessel with the capability to traverse the galaxy with efficiency. Designed for versatility and dependability, this hyperdrive was the primary tool enabling the frigate to participate in fleet operations, respond to emergencies, or carry out long-range reconnaissance and patrol missions. Complementing the primary hyperdrive was a Class 12 backup system, which ensured that the frigate retained the ability to retreat to safety or reach critical destinations, even in the event of primary system failure. The Class 2.0 hyperdrive was a balanced choice for a ship like the Nebulon-B, which was designed to operate in multiple roles. It offered a respectable travel speed, allowing the frigate to stay in formation with larger capital ships such as star destroyers. Yet it was also fast enough to outpace many of the Empire's heavier support vessels. This level of speed was critical for missions requiring rapid redeployment, such as responding to distress signals, intercepting enemy forces, or reinforcing beleaguered fleets. The primary hyperdrive system was powered by the ship's central reactor, which provided the immense energy required for faster-than-light travel. Advanced hyperdrive motivators and navigational computers ensured precision during hyperspace jumps, allowing the Nebulon-B to reach its destination accurately even over vast interstellar distances. The hyperdrive motivator was shielded and redundantly linked to the ship's core systems to minimize the risk of catastrophic failure during critical moments. This redundancy was especially important given the frigate's frequent deployment in high-stakes combat and rescue missions, where any delay could prove fatal. The Class 12 backup hyperdrive served as a vital failsafe. While far slower than the primary hyperdrive, it provided the frigate with a lifeline in the event of damage or system failure. This backup system was often utilized in emergencies, such as when the ship sustained heavy damage or needed to retreat from an overwhelming enemy force. Although not designed for regular use, the Class 12 hyperdrive was robust and dependable, ensuring that the frigate could escape potentially dire situations. The navigational computer integrated with the hyperdrive systems played a critical role in both primary and backup operations. The system was capable of storing pre-programmed hyperspace routes, which allowed for swift deployment to known strategic locations, including military bases, supply depots, and key battle zones. The Nebulon-B's navigational systems also featured advanced sensors capable of scanning hyperspace lanes in real time, reducing the risk of collision with obstacles such as gravitational anomalies or other vessels. The ship's hyperdrive systems were maintained by a dedicated team of engineers, technicians, and droids. These personnel were responsible for monitoring the hyperdrive motivators, energy flow regulators, and cooling systems to ensure optimal performance. Routine inspections and calibrations were conducted during downtime to prevent system degradation, especially after prolonged use or exposure to combat conditions. Specialized repair droids equipped with precision tools were often deployed to address malfunctions in areas of the ship that were difficult for humanoid crew members to access. From a logistical perspective, the Nebulon-B's hyperdrive system was designed with standardization in mind. Both the Class 2.0 primary and Class 12 backup drives used components that were widely available across the galaxy, a deliberate choice to ensure easy maintenance and repair. This standardization reduced the operational costs associated with the ship and ensured that spare parts and technical expertise were always accessible, even in remote regions. The hyperdrive's design also factored into the strategic considerations of both the Empire and the Rebel Alliance. For the Empire, the speed and reliability of the Class 2.0 hyperdrive made the Nebulon-B an effective escort and patrol vessel, capable of keeping up with larger fleets and responding rapidly to threats. For the Rebel Alliance, which relied heavily on the frigate for hit-and-run tactics and medical support, the hyperdrive's performance often meant the difference between success and failure. Overall, the Nebulon-B Frigate's hyperdrive system exemplified the ship's design philosophy of versatility and reliability. With a primary system capable of swift interstellar travel and a backup system ensuring survival in the harshest conditions, the hyperdrive enabled the Nebulon-B to fulfill its diverse roles across the galaxy. Whether navigating hyperspace to support frontline engagements or retreating to safety with wounded personnel, the hyperdrive system was an indispensable component of the frigate's enduring legacy. The Nebulon-B Frigate was equipped with a robust power plant that was capable of supporting its various systems, from propulsion and weaponry to shields and auxiliary functions. The ship's primary energy source was its main reactor, which provided the majority of power required for the frigate's operations. However, in addition to this central power source, the frigate also relied on several auxiliary power systems to ensure redundancy, stability, and the capability to maintain functionality in the event of system failures. The auxiliary power generator was designed to provide supplemental energy when the primary reactor was not sufficient or during emergencies when the main power supply was damaged. This auxiliary generator ensured that vital systems such as life support, communications, and navigation remained operational in the event of a reactor malfunction or during combat situations where power output needed to be redirected to weapons and shields. The auxiliary power generator could be manually or automatically engaged depending on the operational demands of the frigate, giving the crew flexibility in managing the ship's energy consumption and prioritizing critical systems. In addition to the auxiliary generator, the Nebulon-B was equipped with backup engine power cells that provided an emergency power supply for the ship's propulsion system in case the main reactor suffered a catastrophic failure. These backup engine power cells were a crucial part of the frigate's survival mechanisms, ensuring that the vessel could still maneuver and maintain a minimal level of propulsion, even under extreme conditions. While these power cells did not have the capacity to power the ship's weapons or shields for extended periods, they allowed for vital actions such as evasive maneuvers, retreating from combat, or reaching a safe haven for repairs. The auxiliary power generator and backup engine power cells were vital for ensuring the continued functionality of the Nebulon-B Frigate during extended operations, particularly in combat or high-risk environments. By providing energy to key systems when the main reactor was unavailable or overloaded, these backup systems minimized the likelihood of a mission failure, especially in situations where the frigate was operating far from support bases or in hostile territories. To manage the flow of power between these various generators and cells, the frigate's power distribution system was designed with advanced regulators and switches that allowed the crew to divert energy from non-essential systems to critical ones when needed. This flexibility ensured that the ship could continue its mission, even if one part of its power infrastructure was compromised. The ship's engineers and technicians were trained to handle the intricacies of power management, and they routinely performed maintenance checks on these auxiliary systems to ensure that they were ready for action at a moment's notice. From a logistical perspective, the Nebulon-B Frigate's power generation systems were integrated into the ship's overall design with an emphasis on redundancy. This was a deliberate measure to minimize the risk of total system failure, especially since the frigate was often deployed on dangerous missions, where the loss of power could mean the difference between success and failure. Additionally, the systems were designed to be compatible with standard Imperial power units and components, ensuring that replacements and repairs could be conducted quickly and efficiently, even in remote locations or under fire. Overall, the combination of the auxiliary power generator and backup engine power cells contributed to the Nebulon-B Frigate's reputation for reliability and versatility. These backup power systems were essential not only for maintaining the ship's operational integrity in hostile conditions, but also for enabling the ship to continue serving its various roles, whether as a combat vessel, medical ship, or reconnaissance platform. With these systems in place, the Nebulon-B was able to perform its duties without being overly reliant on any single power source, ensuring its effectiveness in the most challenging of situations. The Nebulon-B Frigate was equipped with a sophisticated shielding system designed to provide robust defense against both energy-based and physical attacks. This system, known as the Serage Seal Shielding System, was specifically engineered to meet the demands of the ship's mission profile, balancing the need for protection with the frigate's operational capabilities. The Serage Seal Shielding System was a state-of-the-art defensive technology that provided a multi-layered energy barrier capable of absorbing and deflecting various types of offensive firepower, including blaster fire, turbo laser blasts, and even asteroid impacts. It was optimized for use in prolonged engagements, allowing the Nebulon-B to remain operational even under heavy fire. a necessary feature considering the ship's strategic deployment often placed it in the heart of enemy action. The shield's energy distribution system was highly advanced, ensuring even power flow across the ship's hull to maximize the effectiveness of the shields. The shielding system was powered by enhanced Delphis JC-671 projectors, which were known for their superior performance in both rapid recharge rates and energy efficiency. These projectors were part of a larger defensive architecture that included a network of shield generators strategically placed across the ship's structure. The Delphis JC-671 projectors utilized cutting-edge technology to reinforce the shield's energy barrier, ensuring that the Nebulon-B Frigate could withstand even prolonged engagement from enemy capital ships and starfighters. The projectors were able to quickly re-establish their energy fields after impacts, providing the ship with a continuous protective shield during battle. In terms of shielding capacity, the Nebulon-B Frigate's shields were rated at 960 SBD, a measurement used to gauge the strength and effectiveness of a shield against incoming fire. The rating indicated that the Nebulon-B was capable of withstanding significant damage before the shields failed, providing enough time for evasive maneuvers, repairs, or reinforcements to arrive. This strength was particularly beneficial in the types of operations the ship was tasked with, as it could engage in extended battles without quickly being overwhelmed by enemy fire. However, while strong, the Nebulon-B's shields were not impenetrable, and their efficiency could degrade over time under sustained attacks. The ship's shielding system was also designed with a modular structure, allowing for easy repairs and replacements of damaged components in combat. If part of the system was compromised, the crew could reroute power to undamaged sections of the shields to maintain coverage in critical areas of the ship. This redundancy minimized the chances of a catastrophic shield failure during battle, ensuring the Nebulon-B Frigate could continue to perform its mission even under intense pressure. Furthermore, the Serage Seal shielding system was integrated with the ship's other defensive systems, including its point defense weapons and tractor beam projectors, creating a comprehensive defense mechanism that allowed the ship to respond dynamically to threats. The shields worked in conjunction with the Nebulon-B's offensive capabilities to create a balanced combat profile that emphasized both survivability and firepower, which was crucial for a frigate operating within the Imperial fleet's diverse strategic needs. The design of the Nebulon-B Frigate's shields also reflected the larger philosophy of Imperial starship design, which focused on versatility and reliability. The system was intended to provide adequate protection against the threat of rebel forces, pirates, and other external threats, while still leaving room for the frigate to perform a wide range of tasks, from escort missions to reconnaissance and medical support. While the Nebulon-B's shields were not as powerful as those on larger capital ships, their strength was sufficient for the frigate's intended role, providing the ship with a balance of defense and operational flexibility. Overall, the shielding system on the Nebulon-B Frigate was a critical element of its design, allowing the ship to survive in hostile environments while performing its duties within the fleet. Its combination of advanced Serage Seal shielding technology, enhanced Delphis JC-671 projectors, and high SBD rating made it a formidable presence in battle, capable of withstanding significant damage while remaining functional. The Nebulon-B Frigate was constructed using a titanium-reinforced alloy that provided a solid and durable hull capable of withstanding the rigors of space combat, while maintaining the ship's agility and functionality in various mission scenarios. This advanced composite material was chosen for its combination of lightweight properties and exceptional strength, making it ideal for the vessel's operational requirements. The alloy featured a high degree of resistance to both kinetic and energy-based attacks, which was crucial for the Nebulon-B's role in frontline engagements, escort duties, and tactical operations in hostile environments. The titanium-reinforced alloy was capable of withstanding significant impact from enemy fire, including blaster shots and turbo-laser blasts. It was specifically engineered to ensure that the Nebulon-B could sustain its structural integrity during extended engagements, even when hit by powerful weapons. The hull's design minimized the chances of catastrophic failure, while still allowing for the necessary balance between weight and maneuverability, ensuring that the frigate could be both tough and nimble in battle. Rated at 448 ruthenium units, the Nebulon-B Frigate's hull was considered to be of medium durability, capable of absorbing a considerable amount of energy from energy weapons and physical impacts before sustaining irreparable damage. This rating indicated that the Nebulon-B was able to handle the damage typically expected in combat situations involving smaller ships or starfighters, and even withstand the occasional hit from larger capital ships. However, its hull was not designed to endure prolonged bombardment from the heaviest capital ships or advanced weapons systems, which meant that the ship's shielding and evasive capabilities played an even more critical role in its overall survivability. The use of titanium-reinforced alloy also made the Nebulon-B somewhat lighter than ships built with full metal or traditional durasteel hulls, allowing for greater acceleration and maneuverability without sacrificing too much protection. This was important for the Nebulon-B's intended role in the Imperial Navy, where it needed to respond quickly to threats, conduct hit-and-run tactics, and provide support in diverse fleet engagements. Additionally, the hull was designed to allow for modular repairs, which was especially important in prolonged engagements where constant maintenance and adjustments would be necessary. The exterior of the ship featured multiple service hatches and access points for maintenance crews and droids, ensuring that the Nebulon-B could be quickly repaired and refitted during or after battles. This was a significant advantage in terms of operational flexibility, allowing the ship to remain in service longer and keep up with the demands of its strategic assignments. The hull also played a significant role in the Nebulon-B Frigate's design philosophy, balancing defense, speed, and adaptability. While not as heavily armored as larger capital ships, the Nebulon-B's hull was more than capable of handling the challenges it would face as a versatile support and tactical combat ship, fulfilling its missions effectively while remaining resistant to most conventional threats in space warfare. In conclusion, the Nebulon-B Frigate's hull, constructed from titanium-reinforced alloy and rated at 448 RU, was a key feature of its design. It provided the ship with the strength necessary to survive in battle, while maintaining the agility and flexibility needed for its role within the Imperial fleet. The balance between durability, weight, and repairability ensured that the Nebulon-B could endure the hazards of space combat while continuing to operate efficiently in various tactical situations. The Nebulon-B Frigate had impressive dimensions that made it a formidable presence in space. With a length of 300 meters, the ship was large enough to serve as a reliable medium-sized warship, yet compact enough to maintain the agility necessary for its role in space operations. This size allowed the Nebulon-B to carry a substantial complement of starfighters, troops, and cargo, while also being able to navigate through the complex and often hazardous terrain of space with ease. The width of 72 meters was optimized to provide ample space for the various systems and hangar bays aboard the frigate. The design of the Nebulon-B allowed for a relatively wide, stable structure while keeping it streamlined enough to move efficiently through space. This width accommodated the 7-quat Galaxy 15 Ion engines at the rear, providing the frigate with the necessary propulsion for faster travel and maneuvering. Additionally, this width played a key role in ensuring the integrity of the hull and internal systems, giving the Nebulon-B the capacity to withstand damage from enemy fire and maintain functional operations in the heat of battle. The height or depth of 166 meters contributed to the ship's towering silhouette, giving it a noticeable profile in space. The design of the Nebulon-B Frigate ensured that its vertical reach would allow the necessary internal structure for weapon systems, communication equipment, and command sections, as well as the necessary space for engineering and maintenance bays. The height also allowed for the positioning of the central neck of the ship that housed its command center, which extended downward from the main hull. This feature, often referred to as the cutaway in design, gave the ship a unique and easily recognizable profile. These dimensions together ensured the Nebulon-B Frigate could serve effectively in both offensive and defensive capacities. The length, width, and height were not just a result of the ship's aesthetic design, but were integral to its functional operations. From housing the powerful turbolaser turrets to providing the crew with sufficient space to manage daily operations and combat duties. The careful balance of these measurements contributed to the Nebulon-B's ability to handle a variety of missions, whether in support of larger fleet operations or in strategic strikes against enemy targets. The Nebulon-B Frigate was equipped with advanced sensor, targeting, and navigation systems, each contributing to its overall effectiveness in battle and operational versatility. These systems were key to ensuring the ship could engage hostile forces, avoid threats, and navigate space with precision. The Fabritech ANS-9.5 watts wide-range sensor system was one of the ship's core components, providing it with a broad range of scanning capabilities. This sophisticated system allowed the Nebulon-B to detect threats at great distances, scan for targets across vast areas of space, and monitor the movements of enemy vessels. The wide-range functionality of this sensor system allowed for early detection of incoming enemy ships or starfighters, providing valuable time for the crew to react or prepare countermeasures. This system's sensitivity made it indispensable for the frigate's role in fleet operations, allowing it to coordinate effectively with larger Imperial vessels and provide support in tracking and identifying enemy positions. For more focused engagements, the Platdrama targeting computer played a crucial role in the ship's offensive capabilities. This targeting system was responsible for providing accurate calculations for the ship's weapons, ensuring that each shot fired from the Nebulon-B's turbo lasers, laser cannons, and missile launchers had the best chance of hitting its target. The targeting computer integrated with the sensor systems to quickly assess the distance, speed, and trajectory of targets, giving the crew a distinct advantage in combat. This allowed the Nebulon-B to effectively engage enemy ships, starfighters, or even ground targets with a high degree of accuracy, making it a potent force in skirmishes and larger engagements. In addition to these offensive and sensor-related capabilities, the Nebulon-B was equipped with a comprehensive navigation system. This system provided the ship with precise control over its movement in space, allowing it to navigate through asteroid fields, debris, and other hazards while maintaining a course toward its target or mission objective. The system was designed to be responsive, ensuring that the Nebulon-B could make quick course corrections when needed and operate in tight formations with other fleet ships. The navigation system was also essential in ensuring the Nebulon-B could jump to hyperspace safely, coordinating with the Hyperdrive system to plot courses through space while avoiding dangerous anomalies or Imperial blockades. Together, these systems made the Nebulon-B Frigate a versatile and reliable warship capable of fulfilling a wide range of roles, from long-range reconnaissance to frontline combat. The combination of powerful sensors, accurate targeting, and precise navigation ensured that the Nebulon-B could engage in coordinated strikes, defend against enemy forces, and operate efficiently across the galaxy. These technologies were the backbone of the frigate's operational effectiveness and helped cement its place as a significant asset in the Imperial Navy. The Nebulon-B Frigate had a cargo capacity of 6,000 metric tons, making it capable of carrying a considerable amount of supplies, munitions, equipment, or other necessary resources for extended missions. This cargo hold was primarily used to store ammunition, fuel, spare parts, and consumables, which could be utilized by the crew, fighters, or other vessels in the fleet. The frigate's cargo capacity made it well-suited for logistics support, replenishing ships in the fleet, and aiding in resupply missions during prolonged campaigns. The Nebulon-B was also equipped with a 2-year consumable supply, meaning that it had the necessary provisions, such as food, water, and oxygen, to support its crew and troops for extended periods without needing to resupply. This made it ideal for long-range missions in remote areas, or for operations far from support bases. The combination of cargo space and long-term consumables allowed the Nebulon-B to operate efficiently for long durations, either independently or as part of a larger fleet. The Nebulon-B Frigate, with a standard crew complement of 854 personnel, was a highly organized vessel with a well-structured hierarchy that divided its personnel into various ranks and positions, reflecting its multifaceted role within the Imperial Navy. The crew was responsible for operating, maintaining, and commanding the ship, ensuring its readiness for combat, reconnaissance, and logistical support. Unlike the massive star destroyers, the Nebulon-B was smaller and more nimble, designed to function as a support vessel, often escorting larger ships or performing reconnaissance missions, yet its crew had to be just as highly trained and efficient. At the top of the hierarchy was the captain, who was responsible for the overall command of the ship. The captain's duties included making strategic decisions, managing resources, and ensuring that the ship met its operational objectives. Beneath the captain, the executive officer XO took on the responsibility of overseeing the day-to-day operations of the ship, ensuring that all systems and departments functioned properly. The XO worked closely with other senior officers to implement the captain's orders, manage personnel, and ensure the ship remained combat-ready at all times. The officer cadre consisted of highly trained individuals responsible for the different operational departments of the ship. Officers were assigned to key positions, such as operations, engineering, communications, navigation, and weapons. These officers were typically ranked as lieutenant commanders, lieutenants, or ensigns, depending on their level of responsibility and experience. They led teams of enlisted personnel, ensuring that all functions were carried out smoothly and according to Imperial protocols. The Nebulon-B's enlisted personnel formed the backbone of the ship's operational capacity. They were the ones who directly handled the various systems under the supervision of the officers. Their roles were diverse, ranging from engine room technicians to communications specialists, sensor operators, maintenance crews, and gunners. The crew had to undergo extensive training for their specialized tasks, ensuring that each member was highly skilled in their duties. Gunners, for instance, were essential to the vessel's combat capability. The Nebulon-B carried a complement of 66 gunners, who operated the ship's time and back 11-7 turbo laser turrets and point defense Borstal RH-8 laser cannons. These gunners were trained to handle these heavy weapon systems with precision and efficiency, especially in the heat of battle. Their training was intense, with regular simulations and exercises to ensure they could effectively defend the ship from hostile fighters and capital ships. Another key component of the Nebulon-B's crew was its medical team. The medical officers and their support staff were tasked with maintaining the health and well-being of the crew during long missions. The chief medical officer oversaw the medical facilities aboard the ship, while medics and droids were assigned to provide care for injured or ill crew members. The medical staff was trained to operate in combat situations, often having to treat injuries caused by laser fire, explosions, or hostile environments during planetary assaults. Their role was vital to ensuring the crew remained operational, especially during extended missions where the risk of casualties was high. The Nebulon-B Frigate was also equipped to carry specialized detachments for particular missions. These included security teams, who ensured the safety of the ship and conducted boarding operations when required. Stormtroopers or Imperial Marines could be deployed for ground assaults, and specialized soldiers could be assigned to maintain control during planetary engagements or hostile takeovers. The ship carried shuttles, such as the Lambda-class T-4, a shuttle, which were used for transporting troops, supplies, and officers to and from planets or other vessels. The Grek-class and Katarn-class dropships could carry larger numbers of troops or heavy equipment, and these were critical for the ship's role in ground assaults or planetary operations. The Nebulon-B operated on a carefully planned system of shifts to ensure the ship was always staffed, no matter the time of day or the conditions. The crew worked in rotating shifts, with officers, gunners, and technicians all taking turns at various posts. The bridge crew rotated shifts to ensure that the ship's navigation, communication, and weapon systems were always under supervision. A typical shift might last 8 to 12 hours, depending on the operational needs of the ship, with crew members given off-duty time to rest. Gunners often worked in teams during battle conditions, switching between offensive and defensive maneuvers to keep the ship safe from enemy fire. Engineers and technicians were on call to respond to any damage to the ship's systems, whether from battle damage or routine maintenance. Crew members would often receive leave when the ship was in dock, or when there was a break in operational tempo. Extended missions with little respite made such time off valuable, though the Imperial Navy typically demanded long periods of service with limited downtime. Crew members could occasionally take vacations, though this was not a frequent occurrence, as missions and combat operations were often prioritized over rest. When in port, the crew was allowed to disembark for a short period, although they remained subject to the overall command of the ship and were expected to maintain discipline and readiness at all times. In terms of service life, the crew's existence aboard the Nebulon-B was a blend of intense training, strict military discipline, and operational duty. Much of their daily life was centered on maintaining the vessel's functionality and being prepared for any combat situation. The ship was equipped with adequate living quarters, though space was often cramped, and many crew members shared rooms. Social interaction was encouraged, but the primary focus of daily activities was efficiency and readiness. Officers and enlisted personnel alike spent much of their time in designated areas, with certain areas like the mess hall and common rooms offering brief reprieves from the demands of their duties. As part of the Imperial fleet, the Nebulon-B often operated alongside larger vessels such as star destroyers. The crew was well acquainted with the operational structure of the larger fleet and often interacted with crews from other ships in joint operations, missions, or exercises. These interactions helped foster a strong sense of camaraderie and unity within the broader Imperial military, even though the Nebulon-B was designed for a more auxiliary role. Despite its smaller size, the Nebulon-B Frigate was a vital component of the Imperial Navy's strategy, and its crew played a crucial role in the success of the Empire's operations. They were highly trained, disciplined, and ready to carry out their duties, whether in combat, reconnaissance, or logistical support, ensuring that the Nebulon-B remained a formidable presence in the galaxy. The Nebulon-B Frigate, despite its smaller size compared to larger capital ships, had the capacity to carry 75 troops on board, typically in the form of 2 platoons of airborne troops. This capability enhanced the vessel's tactical flexibility, enabling it to perform a range of missions that required an Imperial presence on the ground or in orbit. The primary strength of carrying airborne troops was its ability to deploy rapidly in support of Imperial operations, particularly in situations that required immediate reinforcement or tactical intervention. 2 platoons of troops, approximately 50 to 75 soldiers, could be quickly dispatched for operations such as security reinforcement, planetary assaults, or to act as a ground-based command unit when required. The Nebulon-B's relatively compact design allowed it to maneuver into low orbit around planets, providing close support for ground forces or assisting with operations that demanded flexibility and speed. Airborne troops were particularly useful in situations where the terrain was difficult or where a quick deployment was necessary without the need for large-scale ground forces. The vessel's ability to perform drop missions allowed it to function as an agile platform for quick response forces, capable of landing on hostile or uncharted planets when needed. In addition to direct military support, the Nebulon-B had the capability to provide evacuation services during times of crisis. If a planet was under siege or a settlement faced imminent danger, the vessel could deploy its shuttles to evacuate civilians, high-value personnel, or Imperial assets. Its Lambda-class T-4 shuttles and other transport vehicles could be used to carry large numbers of civilians or injured personnel off-world, serving as a mobile relief station when necessary. The Grek-class and Katarn-class dropships further increased its capacity for evacuation and deployment, able to carry additional heavy equipment and personnel. During planetary evacuation, the Nebulon-B would be able to provide the logistical support required for these efforts, adding another layer of versatility to its already broad range of potential missions. The presence of its own troops, even if only 1 or 2 platoons, also contributed significantly to the autonomy of the ship. For instance, in situations where a battle was occurring and there was a need for forward command or immediate ground control, the Nebulon-B could establish its own presence on the ground without needing to rely on support from other Imperial assets. This autonomy made the ship a valuable tool in regions where the Empire's influence was less direct, or when a local presence was necessary for more prolonged engagements. The ship's military versatility was therefore enhanced by its capability to not only conduct direct attacks, but also provide strategic support to ground operations, enhancing its value within Imperial naval operations. The Nebulon-B was also suitable for a variety of mercenary operations or covert missions. Its size and cargo capacity made it an ideal candidate for contracted operations that required quick deployment, whether for extraction, sabotage, or intelligence-gathering missions. The ship's ability to carry a limited but effective number of troops and maintain operational flexibility meant it could be contracted out by the Empire for specific needs, especially when mercenaries or Imperial sympathizers were required to bolster Imperial authority in less stable systems. The ability to deploy a small but capable force made the Nebulon-B an attractive option for both tactical military operations and political missions. Additionally, the Nebulon-B's tactical role extended to diplomatic missions. While not a warship in the traditional sense, its presence and capability to carry a complement of Imperial officers and security teams made it a potent tool for demonstrating Imperial authority in systems where diplomacy was necessary. These vessels were frequently used to escort diplomatic envoys or to maintain an Imperial presence in neutral systems, where their versatile troop capacity allowed for the protection of diplomats or Imperial assets during negotiations. The Nebulon-B could carry small security detachments to ensure that such diplomatic missions ran smoothly, and without threat. Its tactical versatility also included the ability to perform a range of missions, from reconnaissance and surveillance to full-scale ground assaults. While not a dedicated assault ship, its ability to carry troops and support a variety of mission types, coupled with its relatively advanced weapon systems, gave it a unique place in the Empire's arsenal. It could function as a scout vessel or serve as a light support craft for larger ships in battle, adding strategic depth to its operational capabilities. Moreover, it was capable of performing escort duties and anti-pirate operations, further increasing its strategic flexibility. In summary, while the Nebulon-B Frigate was a support vessel in many respects, its capacity to carry 75 troops and its ability to perform a wide variety of roles, including airborne troop deployment, evacuation, autonomous ground operations, mercenary contracting, and diplomatic escort, made it an essential asset for the Imperial Navy. Its versatility in the field, combined with its compact size and tactical capabilities, enabled it to excel in operations that required a flexible response, whether on the ground or in space. The ship's ability to adapt to a variety of missions ensured that it was always ready to serve the Empire's needs, from combat to diplomacy, making it a versatile and indispensable vessel. The Nebulon-B Frigate was a vessel built for flexibility and tactical versatility, with its complement of 24 starfighters, spread across 2 squadrons, giving it significant advantages in various operational scenarios. The presence of these fighters, while modest in number compared to larger capital ships, granted the Nebulon-B a unique role in tactical operations, making it more than just a support vessel. With a mix of TI fighters, TIE bombers, and other specialized craft, these squadrons could perform a variety of roles, from escort duties to close air support during ground engagements. The ability to deploy 2 squadrons of starfighters allowed the Nebulon-B to maintain a formidable presence in both offensive and defensive engagements. In battle, these fighters were crucial in providing a screen for the ship, intercepting enemy starfighters, and launching counterattacks against larger capital ships. The TI fighters, for example, could be deployed in large numbers to overwhelm smaller enemy vessels, or engage enemy bombers, protecting the Nebulon-B and its larger fleet assets from air threats. Their speed and maneuverability made them an essential tool for maintaining space superiority during conflicts, especially in skirmishes and escort missions. In addition to fighter combat, the Nebulon-B squadrons played a crucial role in escort missions. Whether defending important Imperial convoys, protecting high-value targets, or accompanying supply vessels through dangerous sectors, the Nebulon-B could deploy its starfighters to ensure the safe passage of crucial assets. The fighters could patrol wide areas around the convoy or engage any hostile ships attempting to attack or ambush, ensuring that the larger vessels in the group could proceed unimpeded. The ship's ability to defend convoys with its starfighters made it an essential part of logistical operations, offering both offensive firepower and defensive protection in the most challenging sectors. Beyond the direct combat roles, the Nebulon-B's starfighters provided vital support for ground forces. The ship could launch fighters to clear the skies of enemy air forces during planetary assaults, offer close air support for Imperial ground troops, and conduct strike missions against enemy positions. The coordination between ground troops and starfighter units was a significant advantage, allowing for combined arms tactics that ensured the success of both aerial and ground operations. This synergy also allowed the Nebulon-B to engage in rapid response deployments, where the fighters could quickly adjust their position to support new objectives, whether that was to bombard a target or protect retreating forces. The presence of 2 squadrons also increased the tactical versatility of the Nebulon-B in situations requiring multiple forms of engagement. For example, in a prolonged battle, one squadron could be dedicated to defensive duties such as protecting the ship or escorting vulnerable targets, while the other squadron could focus on offensive strikes, creating a multi-layered defense. Additionally, having 2 squadrons allowed the Nebulon-B to operate effectively in coordination with other ships, providing fighter support for larger capital ships or operating independently for specialized missions. The ability to launch and support ground forces was another defining feature of the Nebulon-B's versatility. While not primarily designed for ground combat, its cargo capacity, alongside the ability to deploy shuttles like Lambda-class, Grek-class, and Katarn-class, allowed the ship to serve as a launch platform for troop deployments, logistical support, and even evacuations. The Lambda-class shuttles, typically used for transportation and VIP escort, could carry personnel and equipment to planetary surfaces, acting as a crucial asset in combat zones or during humanitarian missions. The Grek-class and Katarn-class dropships, with their heavier cargo capacity, could carry heavier artillery, armored units, or supply drops, making them invaluable during prolonged engagements or when reinforcements were needed on the ground. These capabilities enhance the Nebulon-B's overall role in multifaceted operations, making it capable of fulfilling a wide range of tasks. Whether engaging enemy fighters, escorting convoys, deploying ground troops, or providing close air support, the Nebulon-B was never limited to a single form of combat. It offered strategic flexibility, allowing it to be deployed in any situation that required rapid response, force projection, or tactical adaptability. The starfighters, in particular, were an integral part of the Nebulon-B's operational profile, enabling it to fulfill its role in space combat, ground support, and logistical operations. Despite the relatively small complement of 24 starfighters, this was enough to give the Nebulon-B a significant amount of independence and lethality, particularly when deployed in cooperation with larger ships or as part of a specialized fleet operation. Its ability to launch and support fighters meant that the Nebulon-B could carry out a range of missions, from escort duties to frontline assaults, making it a key player in Imperial naval doctrine. In summary, the Nebulon-B Frigate was a highly versatile vessel, offering a variety of combat capabilities despite its modest size. With its starfighter complement, the ability to carry out escort missions, deploy ground forces, and provide close air support, the Nebulon-B played an important role in the Imperial Navy's fleet. Its flexibility, speed, and firepower made it a valuable asset in tactical operations, ensuring it could adapt to a variety of mission types while offering critical support to larger vessels and ground forces alike. The Nebulon-B Frigate, also known as the EF-76 Nebulon-B Escort Frigate, was developed and produced by the renowned Kuat Drive Yards, a powerful manufacturing facility within the Galactic Empire. The design, construction, and logistics of this formidable ship were part of an extensive, well-coordinated effort involving advanced technology, modular production techniques, and a highly specialized workforce. The development of the Nebulon-B Frigate was a response to the growing need for a vessel that could serve a variety of roles in the Imperial Navy, from escort duty and convoy protection to supporting ground operations and engaging enemy craft in combat. The EF-76 Nebulon-B was conceived as a multi-purpose, versatile ship that could be easily adapted to different tactical needs while maintaining a relatively small size compared to larger capital ships like the Imperial Star Destroyer. Its ability to perform a variety of duties made it ideal for a range of missions, from space engagements to ground troop deployment and escort missions. The design process of the Nebulon-B reflected Kuat Drive Yard's reputation for creating advanced and efficient warships, blending practicality with advanced engineering. The ship's hull, powered by 7 Kuat Galaxy 15 ion engines, was designed with a slim, elongated shape, featuring a distinctive triangular configuration. This streamlined design allowed the Nebulon-B to achieve remarkable speed and maneuverability, while maintaining a solid presence on the battlefield. The foresection was dedicated to the weaponry and auxiliary systems, while the aft housed the engines and propulsion modules. One of the most notable features of the Nebulon-B Frigate was its modular design, which allowed for flexibility in construction and future upgrades. Kuat Drive Yards utilized advanced modular production techniques, where individual components of the ship, such as the hull sections, engine units, and weapon turrets, were constructed separately and then assembled into the final vessel. This allowed for faster production times, as components could be built simultaneously and then integrated at different points along the assembly line. The use of modular construction also meant that parts of the ship could be easily replaced or upgraded during the ship's service life, keeping it up to date with technological advancements. Kuat Drive Yard's shipyards were strategically located in orbit around Kuat, one of the galaxy's most important industrial planets, known for its massive production capabilities. The shipyards themselves were vast, sprawling facilities capable of handling the scale of ships like the Nebulon-B Frigate. These shipyards were equipped with specialized docking stations, crane systems, and automated production lines that could handle the complex assembly of various modules, sub-assemblies, and components. The production process was highly organized, with various stages that included metal forging, hull plating, engine assembly, shielding installation, and weapon mounting. The assembly process of the Nebulon-B Frigate was highly coordinated, with separate modules for different sections of the ship being assembled in dry docks, and then moved into larger assembly bays for integration. The massive four sections, housing the weapons and sensor arrays, would be joined to the central hull, which housed the crew quarters, storage spaces, and operational systems. The final step involved connecting the engines and propulsion systems, followed by thorough testing of all systems, including weapons, communications, and navigation. The workforce involved in the production of the Nebulon-B was highly specialized, consisting of skilled laborers, engineers, technicians, and droids. These workers were responsible for every aspect of the ship's construction, from the initial blueprints and design schematics to the final integration of complex systems. Some employees were engaged in the design process, ensuring that the ship met the Empire's military needs, while others worked directly in the shipyards, handling the physical aspects of assembly, wiring, and installing heavy machinery. In addition to human workers, droids played a significant role in the production of the Nebulon-B Frigate. The shipyards employed astromech droids and labor droids, which were essential for performing repetitive tasks, heavy lifting, and detailed work, such as wiring and repairing. These droids worked alongside human technicians, helping to speed up the construction process and reduce the risk of errors in such a massive undertaking. Logistics were crucial to the construction and delivery of the Nebulon-B Frigate, with a constant flow of resources required to meet the ship's production schedule. These resources came from various sources across the Empire, including mining operations and refineries that extracted and processed raw materials, such as titanium, alasteel, and advanced polymers. The delivery of these materials to the shipyards was a highly organized process, involving the use of large transport ships, which would bring in raw materials for each specific stage of the construction process. Supply routes were meticulously planned to ensure that there was no disruption in the flow of necessary materials, which were stored in vast supply depots within the shipyards until needed. The cost of a Nebulon-B Frigate was estimated to be around 8,500,000 credits, with used models being sold at 6,400,300 credits due to their age and wear. Despite this high price, the Nebulon-B was an affordable option for the Imperial Navy, offering a balance between cost and capability. The Empire prioritized the mass production of ships like the Nebulon-B due to its versatility and ability to fill multiple roles, making it a valuable asset for a variety of tactical scenarios. The low cost relative to larger capital ships allowed the Nebulon-B to be deployed in greater numbers, thus expanding the Empire's overall naval presence across the galaxy. In conclusion, the development, design, and construction of the Nebulon-B Frigate was a massive and coordinated effort involving cutting-edge technology, modular production techniques, and a skilled workforce. From the shipyards of Hyperdrive yards to the complex assembly process, every step was designed to create a vessel that was versatile, cost-effective, and capable of fulfilling a wide range of Imperial missions. The result was a Nebulon-B Frigate that became an iconic symbol of the Empire's naval power and a reliable tool in its expansive military operations. The EF-76 Nebulon-B Escort Frigate was a versatile and influential starship created by Hyperdrive yards for the Imperial Navy. However, these frigates were more famously employed by various rebel cells during the Galactic Civil War, most notably by the Alliance to Restore the Republic, in their fight against the Galactic Empire. Although originally designed with the Imperial Navy in mind, the Nebulon-B became a key component in the Rebel Alliance's strategy, particularly in its role as a convoy escort. The Nebulon-B was equipped with powerful weapons and shields, making it an effective vessel for protecting important supply ships, medical frigates, and other vital assets. Due to its formidable defensive capabilities and moderate offensive firepower, it was frequently deployed as an escort for larger, more vulnerable ships. ensuring the safety of rebel convoys from Imperial pursuit. One significant instance of a Nebulon-B's use was during an operation led by Birch Teller, a rebel leader. Teller and his cell utilized a Nebulon-B escort frigate to intercept a convoy transporting a crucial hyperdrive for the Death Star, approximately 5 years after the end of the Clone Wars. This daring operation underscored the frigate's role in rebel operations against the Empire, showcasing its ability to strike at critical Imperial assets. The Nebulon-B also participated in significant military engagements. In 2 BBY, several Nebulon-B frigates were part of the fleet assembled over the Dantooine system in response to Mon Mothma's declaration of rebellion. This fleet served as a show of force for the newly formed Rebel Alliance, symbolizing their commitment to resisting the Empire. One of the more notable engagements involving the Nebulon-B was during the Battle of Atollon. The Masasi Group, under the command of General John Dodonna, deployed 3 Nebulon-Bs, including Dodonna's flagship, the Vanguard. Unfortunately, these ships met their end when they were destroyed by the forces of Grand Admiral Thrawn and his 7th Fleet, a devastating blow to the rebel fleet. Thrawn's tactical brilliance and superior firepower ensured the destruction of these vital ships, further emphasizing the ever-present threat posed by the Empire's elite officers and warships. Despite these losses, the Nebulon-B remained a symbol of the Rebel Alliance's ingenuity and resourcefulness. Though built for Imperial service, it found its place in the hands of those who opposed the Empire, serving in critical battles and missions throughout the galaxy, and proving that even a ship originally designed for one purpose could be adapted to serve a completely different cause. Admiral Raddus, a key leader of the Rebel Alliance, commanded a fleet that included at least 3 Nebulon-B escort frigates during the critical mission to Scarif in 0 BBY. This mission was a pivotal moment in the struggle against the Empire, as the rebels sought to steal the Death Star plans, which would later become the foundation for the Alliance's victory in the Battle of Yavin. The Nebulon-B frigates played a crucial role during the Battle of Scarif, where they were involved in escorting and protecting key rebel ships and providing support in the face of overwhelming Imperial forces. These frigates were integral to the rebel fleet's strategy, offering both offensive and defensive capabilities in the battle to secure the Death Star plans. At the conclusion of the Battle of Scarif, the fate of the Nebulon-Bs was mixed. At least one frigate successfully escaped into hyperspace, managing to evade the devastating firepower of the Imperial fleet. However, another Nebulon-B was not so fortunate. Caught in the crossfire between the Rebel and Imperial forces, this frigate was destroyed and split in half by concentrated fire from Darth Vader's flagship, the Devastator. The sheer might of Vader's Star Destroyer and its ability to inflict massive damage on Rebel vessels underscored the intense nature of the battle and the high stakes involved in the mission. Despite the loss of the frigate, the success of the mission, stealing the Death Star plans, was a significant victory for the Rebel Alliance. It set the stage for the destruction of the Death Star at the Battle of Yavin and ultimately contributed to the downfall of the Empire. The involvement of the Nebulon-B frigates, along with their sacrifice, highlighted the critical role these ships played in the rebellion's fight for freedom, even in the face of overwhelming Imperial opposition. After the Battle of Yavin and the evacuation of Yavin 4, the Rebel Alliance was forced to keep its forces on the move, evading detection by the Galactic Empire, while searching for a secure and permanent base of operations. During this period of constant relocation and uncertainty, the leadership of the Alliance relied on one of their Nebulon-B escort frigates as a temporary headquarters ship. This ship became a hub of rebel leadership, offering both a mobile command center and a safe space for strategic planning. The Nebulon-B frigate served as the operational base for many of the rebel leaders, including Mon Mothma, General John Dodonna, and Admiral Jial Akbar. From this vessel, they coordinated and planned various operations against the Empire in the aftermath of the assault on Simoon, a key moment in the Rebel Alliance's ongoing campaign. The frigate was outfitted with command centers and conference rooms where military strategies were formulated and diplomatic decisions were made, helping the rebel leadership stay one step ahead of the Empire. Han Solo and his co-pilot Chewbacca took refuge aboard the Nebulon-B to repair the Millennium Falcon, which had suffered damage during the Battle of Yavin. While the pair worked on restoring the iconic ship, Luke Skywalker found time to begin his training as a Jedi in one of the frigate's chambers. This period marked a turning point for Skywalker, who was beginning to feel the weight of his destiny, and was preparing to set off on his own journey to Tatooine. Meanwhile, Leia Organa and Han Solo were tasked with a scouting mission to search for a new base of operations for the Rebel Alliance. While they were away, the remaining Rebel leaders gathered aboard the Nebulon-B to discuss the troubling activities of Luke Skywalker, whose growing connection to the Force was becoming increasingly unpredictable. Despite the concern, Mon Mothma could not commit any forces to assist Skywalker on his mission to Nar Shaddaa, but Chewbacca and C-3PO volunteered to help their friend, demonstrating the close-knit bonds within the Rebel ranks. Later on, the Rebel leadership convened again aboard the Nebulon-B Frigate, this time meeting with Leia and Luke to assign them a new mission. The task was critical. The two were to infiltrate an Imperial facility on Tureen 7 and steal a Star Destroyer. This daring operation was a testament to the increasing confidence and audacity of the Rebel Alliance as they struck at the heart of the Empire's military might. By the time of the mission to rescue C-3PO, the Nebulon-B Frigate was no longer just a temporary headquarters. It had become part of a larger contingent of ships that made up the Rebel fleet. A network of vessels continually shifting and adapting to avoid Imperial pursuit. Despite the fleet's constant mobility, the Nebulon-B remained a vital asset, facilitating strategic operations and providing a base from which the Rebel leadership could continue their fight for freedom across the galaxy. By 3 ABY, the Nebulon-B Frigate Redemption had been repurposed by the Rebel Alliance as a medical ship, playing a crucial role in the Alliance's efforts to treat wounded personnel and support ongoing operations. Its medical facilities were well equipped to handle the aftermath of large-scale battles, and it became a vital part of the Rebel fleet, offering much-needed care and recovery for those injured during the ongoing conflict with the Empire. Following the Battle of Hoth and the evacuation of Echo Base, the Redemption, along with the Tavarex and another Nebulon-B frigate, was assigned to the 4th Division of the Rebel fleet. This division, in accordance with the Alliance's scatter protocol, was tasked with regrouping and finding safe locations for the fleet's remaining ships after the Empire's devastating assault. The 4th Division retreated to a predetermined location, Rendezvous Point Delta 3, hoping to stay out of reach of the Imperial forces in the wake of the Empire's crushing victory at Hoth. However, the Alliance's hopes of safety were short-lived. The Imperial fleet, led by Admiral Ozzel and under the command of Darth Vader, had anticipated the rebels' retreat and ambushed the fleet at Rendezvous Point Delta 3. The blockade was fierce, and the fleet found itself trapped against a star, unable to escape without significant losses. Despite the valiant efforts of the rebel ships, the Tavarex was destroyed under the onslaught of Imperial fire, its crew lost to the brutal Imperial assault. Fortunately, the Redemption and the other Nebulon-B frigate managed to escape the trap, thanks to a timely rescue by the Millennium Falcon. Han Solo, Leia Organa, and the rest of the Falcon's crew arrived just in time to break the blockade and allow the medical frigate and its companions to flee the Imperial forces, saving countless Rebel lives. Once safely away from the Imperial pursuit, the Redemption became a key medical asset for the Alliance, particularly for the treatment of wounded personnel. Most notably, Luke Skywalker, having suffered severe injuries during his confrontation with Darth Vader on Cloud City, was brought aboard the medical frigate for treatment. The ship's medical staff tended to Skywalker's wounds as he recuperated from the traumatic events he had endured, including the loss of his hand and his shocking revelation about his parentage. The Redemption thus played a pivotal role in helping the Rebel Alliance recover from its defeats, providing essential care to its leadership and ensuring that they would be able to continue their fight against the Empire. During Operation Yellow Moon, the Nebulon-B Frigate Remembrance, under the command of Captain Volk Emmerich, played a key role as the lead vessel in a critical convoy mission designed to protect Princess Leia Organa, one of the Alliance's most important leaders. The operation, aimed at ensuring the princess's safety, was part of the ongoing efforts by the Rebel Alliance to maintain leadership cohesion and secure key personnel during a period of intense conflict with the Empire. The Remembrance, as the flagship of the convoy, was heavily tasked with navigating through hostile territory, using its agility and firepower to defend the convoy from potential Imperial threats. With Captain Emmerich at the helm, the Nebulon-B frigate coordinated the movements of several other ships, creating a protective perimeter around Princess Leia's vessel. This convoy would provide critical support and a safe passage, allowing the princess to carry out diplomatic missions and maintain her role as one of the guiding figures of the Alliance to restore the Republic. The convoy, consisting of multiple ships alongside the Remembrance, operated under the shadow of constant Imperial surveillance and potential interception. During the mission, the convoy faced numerous challenges, including navigating through treacherous space regions, where Imperial forces were known to lurk. Despite these risks, Captain Americ and his crew aboard the Remembrance executed their duties with precision, ensuring that Princess Leia was delivered safely to her destination. The success of Operation Yellow Moon was not just a tactical victory in terms of the convoy's safety, but also an important boost to Rebel morale. Protecting one of the Rebel Alliance's key leaders in such a high-stakes mission underscored the ongoing commitment of the Alliance's military forces to safeguard their leadership and protect their fight against the Empire. The Remembrance played an instrumental role in this operation, maintaining its position at the head of the convoy and ensuring that Princess Leia remained a symbol of hope for the growing rebellion. At the Battle of Endor, at least 2 Nebulon-B frigates played vital roles within the Rebel fleet, contributing to the Rebel Alliance's decisive victory against the Galactic Empire. Among these, the Redemption stood out as it fought bravely alongside other Rebel warships, enduring heavy enemy fire during the fierce engagements in the heart of the battle. The Nebulon-B frigates, known for their versatility, played key roles in the battle, providing support in both offensive and defensive operations. The Redemption, one of the more prominent frigates in the fleet, was engaged in crucial operations that helped to tip the balance in favor of the rebels. Despite suffering significant damage under heavy fire from Imperial forces, the Redemption pressed forward, serving as a symbol of the rebel fleet's resilience and determination. The frigate's roles in providing fire support, shielding more vulnerable ships, and maintaining strategic positions were vital in the execution of the Alliance's final assault on the second Death Star and the Empire's fleet. Following the Battle of Endor, the rebel fleet regrouped and retreated to Muster Point, Vergence, a safe rendezvous location located 20 days after the battle. At least one of the surviving Nebulon-B frigates joined the fleet at this location, reinforcing the rebels' efforts to regroup and continue their struggle against the Imperial remnants. Later, as the Alliance continued to operate in the aftermath of Endor, this frigate also participated in operations at Muster Point, Stalwart, another significant location where the rebel forces gathered to plan their next moves. These continued efforts and strategic positioning by the Nebulon-B frigates ensured the survival and strength of the rebel forces in the critical days following the battle, further solidifying the importance of the Nebulon-B class in the rebel fleet's overall success against the Empire. The frigate's ability to serve in both combat and logistical support roles made them invaluable assets to the Alliance during its final push to dismantle Imperial power and usher in the era of the New Republic. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, numerous Nebulon-B frigates went on to serve in the New Republic, continuing their legacy of resilience and tactical versatility. These ships, once essential to the Rebel Alliance's efforts, became mainstays in the post-Empire military as the New Republic sought to establish stability and defend against lingering Imperial forces. At the Battle of Jakku, which marked a crucial turning point in the galaxy's conflict, the Nebulon-B frigates displayed their enduring toughness. Commodore Kirsta Agate, a key officer in the New Republic fleet, witnessed the heroics of one such frigate, which withstood heavy enemy fire while continuing to fight back valiantly. The frigate, despite suffering catastrophic damage, broke in half, but still managed to unleash its full complement of weapons in a last-ditch effort to engage a Star Destroyer. This act of determination demonstrated the Nebulon-B's reputation as a steadfast and battle-hardened vessel, unwilling to back down even when faced with overwhelming odds. It served as a poignant symbol of the New Republic's resolve to continue fighting for peace and justice in the galaxy, despite the chaos left in the wake of the Empire's collapse. Another Nebulon-B frigate, fighting in the same battle, met a grim fate when it crashed into the flagship of Admiral Garrick Versio, the Eviscerator. This collision severely compromised the integrity of the Eviscerator, which was already in a state of damage from the intense battle. The crash further destabilized the Imperial warship, contributing to its eventual destruction. This incident underscored the Nebulon-B frigate's critical role in the New Republic's efforts to neutralize Imperial holdouts and restore order to the galaxy. These vessels, though often outgunned by larger ships, proved their worth time and time again through sheer tenacity and sacrifice. In the aftermath of the battle, The Nebulon-Bs continued to serve with distinction, proving themselves indispensable in the ongoing struggle for control over the galaxy. Their legacy lived on in the New Republic's military operations, where their durability and adaptability remained central to the fleet's success in securing peace across the galaxy. At least one Nebulon-B frigate, known as the Opportunity, served under the banner of Janata Security, a law enforcement agency operating out of the planet Vardos within the Janata system. The frigate, under the command of Captain Lima Kai, was repainted in the distinct colors of Janata Security and became an integral part of the First Order's efforts to implement Project Resurrection, a covert operation aimed at kidnapping children across the galaxy and forcibly conscripting them into the First Order's ranks as stormtroopers. The Opportunity, with its distinctive paint scheme, became a symbol of Janata Security's involvement in the First Order's brutal tactics. The ship's role was pivotal in carrying out the dark and secretive mission. It was used in the Janata system to abduct children from various planets and deliver them to the First Order, where they would undergo training to become part of the Stormtrooper Corps. The Opportunity's involvement in Project Resurrection was part of the First Order's larger campaign to recruit and indoctrinate young soldiers, replacing the lost soldiers of the Empire and strengthening their grip on the galaxy. However, the ship's role in this sinister operation was soon interrupted. The Opportunity was preparing to continue its dark work on Othello, another system in the region, when Iden Versio, a former Imperial soldier turned Resistance operative, and her daughter Zay Versio arrived on the scene. Iden and Zay had tracked down the Opportunity after discovering that Del Miko's ship, the Corvus, had been investigating the kidnappings on behalf of the Resistance. This investigation had led them to uncover the details of Project Resurrection and the Opportunity's involvement in it. As the Opportunity deployed its fighter escorts and attempted to flee deeper into Othello's asteroid field, Iden and Zay pursued the ship, determined to stop the First Order's operations. The Opportunity's escorts were quickly neutralized by the two women, but the frigate itself was not so easily defeated. Iden engaged in a direct confrontation with Captain Lima Kai, while Zay, using her sharp wit and technical expertise, managed to communicate with the Opportunity's crew. In a bold move, Zay tricked the ship's crew into believing that they were about to unleash a barrage of non-existent concussion missiles on the frigate, causing the crew to panic and surrender. Under the belief that they were about to face a devastating attack, the Opportunity's crew yielded, allowing Iden and Zay to board the ship. The crew not only surrendered the Opportunity, but also provided all the intelligence they had on Project Resurrection, which would become critical information for the Resistance in their ongoing battle against the First Order. The Opportunity's capture marked a significant moment in the Resistance's efforts to disrupt the First Order's operations and prevent the further recruitment of child soldiers into their ranks. The ship, once an instrument of the First Order's oppressive regime, had now been neutralized, and the secrets of Project Resurrection were exposed, paving the way for future Resistance victories. In 35 ABY, during the final confrontation between the Resistance and the Sith Eternal Forces over the planet Exegol, Nebulon-B frigates were once again called into action. This time, they were part of a larger fleet assembled by Lando Calrissian, the famed smuggler-turned-general, who was rallying ships and forces from across the galaxy to fight the Sith Eternal Fleet. Lando's mission was to unite all remaining factions of the Resistance and other sympathetic groups to stand against the overwhelming power of the Sith Eternal and their fleet of Final Order Star Destroyers. The Nebulon-B frigates, along with other ships, were vital in ensuring that the Resistance had a chance at confronting the Sith Eternal forces. These frigates provided support in various ways, including escort duties, reinforcements, and strategic positioning for larger capital ships and starfighters. Their smaller size and maneuverability made them effective in skirmishing and providing crucial cover for more significant assaults launched by the Resistance. As the final battle unfolded above Exegol, the fleet, bolstered by the addition of ships like the Nebulon-B frigates, engaged in intense combat against the Sith Eternal's Final Order fleet. The frigates helped to slow the enemy's advance, buying critical time for the Resistance forces to launch their offensive against the Sith-controlled Star Destroyers. Despite the overwhelming odds, these ships, part of Lando's makeshift fleet, played a key role in the Resistance's victory, aiding in the destruction of the Sith Eternal's leadership and ensuring the defeat of the Sith forces in their bid to control the galaxy. While the Nebulon-B frigates themselves were not the largest or most heavily armed ships in the battle, their presence within this ragtag fleet served as a reminder of the unity and perseverance of the Resistance. They fought alongside other smaller and medium-sized ships, demonstrating the resilience and courage of those willing to stand against tyranny, even in the face of overwhelming opposition.